customers to be worth more than $14. And it's logic. People are like, oh, where did you learn this shit? Where did you read this? Sometimes you just have to sit down and analyze. Sometimes you just have to sit down and think. Most people don't think.
They don't have any time to think. They're always scrolling away, and
they have time. They don't make it.
Yeah.
They don't make time to think. And when you understand that thinking is actually a skill, you begin to develop it.
Yeah.
Thinking is a skill set. I spent, in fact, it was about 8 to 12 months sitting around a fire. Literally, it was my job to sit around the fire and we were just masterminding. I would bring different people into my house. I would come spend a few weeks with us and we literally sit down and mastermind. I didn't make money for that period of time. We were making, 100, 200K a month, light work, but I spent my entire time developing how to think. And what I realized is with dropshipping specifically, is that in order for you to have a winning niche, you need a couple things. The first one is an evergreen ecosystem, your ability to continuously sell in perpetuity.
Okay.
The second thing is you need a big enough audience.
Okay.
So your pool of customers, if you're trying to scale to $1 million day, you can't have a $200,000 person audience.
You need a big market.
You need a big market.
Target the masses.
So that's why I was like, okay, let me sell household products because every person is going to need this in perpetuity, always and forever.
100%.
And then finally, I was like, I need to make sure, because a lot of people drop ship and they try to finesse Facebook. I'm like, dude, I'm not in the business of finessing Facebook. I want to have a good relationship with Facebook.
Yeah.
They are giving me the ability to advertise. I want a good relationship.
Yeah, you can't bite the hand that feeds you.
Exactly. So I built good relationships with reps. I had good ad credits. And what I came to realize is I can actually still succeed and follow their terms and conditions. So when COVID rolled around, which was our first kind of like $1 million day, was
$1 million in a day.
Light work. I've done $5 million in a day. Profit. It's nothing, bro. What you're looking at here, Dubai, what I'm doing is pennies, dude. You can Dubai these printing $1 billion a day. So when all these kids on the internet, they're like, oh, $5 million, there's no way. Dude, you have no idea the level of wealth there is out there, and your pee-wee brain can't get it. It's okay. So $5 million is chump change. I see it as a stepping stone to what we're gonna be doing in the future. So a lot of people are like, oh, $5 million, show the receipts. Bro, out here doing $1 billion a day.
And the receipts are there because they've seen your projects.
Oh yeah, you can see the projects. You can literally go on my highlights where I'm literally telling my to literally buy every single thing that I bought. I told people to literally buy Bored Ape Yacht Club at 4 ETH, where I was literally buying them up. People didn't listen. I told people to cash out of crypto at $4,000 in ETH. I sold all my ETH at $3,950. Every single penny of it. I have order blocks on my Binance that show $1 million to $2 million sales at that price.
Most people were greedy at the time. They wanted to hold for more.
Most people are gambling. Most people don't understand that the goal is to accumulate wins. It's compounding wins that matter. It's not this idea of
one big
win, dude. I'm in the business of big wins now, but when I started off, I wasn't in the business of a big win. I needed consecutive wins. Why? I needed to build up my self-esteem. I needed to build up my dubs, and I needed to build up the confidence that I could actually do bigger deals.
Yeah.
So anyways, so then the final aspect of this dropshipping ecosystem was, like I said, having a good relationship with Facebook and having a good relationship with the advertising platforms and making sure that you can follow the rules and you can succeed that way. Why? Because they will push your stuff if your content and your product and your ad is good, right? Because if they're pulling people out of the platform, they want to make sure that the customer is having a good experience.
Right. Otherwise, it's they're
exactly
their customer attention.
So when COVID rolled around and they banned masks and they banned hand sanitizers because like going super hard and super greedy and charging 4 or 5x and scamming people, I said, maybe instead of selling it to people, which was banned, I sell it to animals. So I started selling, these health products and these sanitation products, but it was niched to pets. And that was not circumventing the policy. Therefore, we had crazy viral ads because the fear was the same. You just redirected, right, to a different scenario. So I think we had the top 10 ad of Facebook, top 10 or top 20 of all time. I think it had over 250 million views on the ad.
How much did you spend for that ad?
Millions of dollars, bro. Because it was over months.
So what exactly is the product? Like,
I can't say exactly the product because it still works. I can't tell you what the product is, but I've given you the niche, right, which is household products, And I've told you that we niched it to
Pets.
pets.
Sanitation products for pets.
Sanitation products for pets. We repurposed it. So that's how we operated it, and it worked super well. I'll give all the drop shippers and the e-commerce kids a little freebie.
Yeah.
What really helped us in our ecosystem and our ability to, because your ad is an ecosystem. It's not just a placement. That's what people don't understand. Your ad is designed, right, by nature to just be in front of people. Then what the ad actually is in the ecosystem that you build around the ad begins to kick in. What do I mean by this? That there's multiple things inside your ad that people don't take into account, that if you take into account, you're going to reduce your CPMs, you're going to increase your conversions, and you're going to make sure that you're saving money in advertising. What is this? A few things. You have your copy, you have your creative, you have your comment section, you have your customers, you have your viewers, and you have your retargeting.
That's your like variables.
Most people only look at their creative and only look at their copy.
Yeah.
That's it. Nobody looks at the comment section. So what did we do? We began treating the comment section, understanding that if people commented in the comment section, Facebook would trigger it as people being interested, therefore boosting the post and reducing our CPM.
Engagement, yeah.
So what would we do? We engagement farmed real conversations like a Reddit forum. So what would happen? Lady A would hop into our ad, right?
Yeah.
And she would be in a scenario where like, oh, this is a cool product. It would be nice for my dog. Most would go on the drop shipping comment, right? And be like, oh, well, that's cool. You can get it for 50% off. Here's the link.
Yeah.
What did we do? Cultivate relationships with customers. Oh, that's great. Do you mind sharing a photo of your dog? Boom. Next person, that's a cute dog. Oh, perfect. Do you have a dog? Please post a photo of your dog. Then we would trigger controversy. So we would have an account that would go be like, I don't like that dog.
It's an ugly dog.
It's an ugly dog. And people would go crazy and comment. But
don't call my dog ugly.
But Facebook doesn't know the difference. Therefore, we began to have extremely cheap CPMs, massively cheap CPMs that we'd never seen before. CPMs, for the people that don't know what that is, CPM, that's cost per thousand, mil is in Spanish or in Latin, cost per thousand. So we were able to reduce that, I think, by 160x.
Because for Facebook, they want
let me say that again.
Go for it.
We were able to reduce, based off of that strategy that I just told you guys, our advertising cost by 160x.
And it's so simple.
Our shit was so clean, dude. That's how so when people say dropshipping is dead, dropshipping ain't dead. Your ability to market and your ability to move and redevelop and reinvent your strategies is dead. What used to work no longer works.
Yeah.
But dropshipping is going to be around for the next couple hundred years. How it looks like, how it's formatted is different. People have been dropshipping for thousands of years. What is dropshipping? Your ability to arbitrage a product that you've never seen. We just started using Shopify on the internet. Before, it used to be QVC, and it used to be the shit that you would see online. And it's going to be the next thing in the next time, right? So the model will exist in perpetuity. How the model is expressed,
the technology
will change.
The technology.
And that's where you have to adapt. Yeah. So if people are like, oh, Facebook is oh, my ads are shit. Oh, drop shipping is dead. Yeah. Oh, my tracking pixel is terrible. I can't process payments. Those are all excuses. And excuses are for fucking losers.
You have to adapt.
Exactly. You adapt or you die.
Yeah. Sink or swim. Yeah, exactly. No, very true. That's crazy, actually. And the success you've had on e-commerce is definitely something that we can't move past without acknowledging, you know? Because a lot of people, it's like probably one of the most competitive spaces. Everybody, it's the number one side hustle that everybody wants to do, drop shipping, you know?
But that's the problem, bro. They treat it as a hustle. And there's two types of minds in this space. Because I do business with they're out here doing $1 million days, 100 million a year in drop shipping, like raw general store drop shipping. These Asians, they ain't treating this shit like a hustle. They're bosses. They run this like a business.
Corporation.
Like a corporation. That's why they're schooling you. That's why your shit ain't working, because these guys are taking your ads. These guys are taking your products. They have better supply chains. They have better price cogs. Like they're schooling you on every department because you're treating it like a side hustle. Side hustles, what I learned in the beginning of my career, should only be the mentality applied to making your initial money.
Yeah, 100%.
Once you go from hustle mode, you need to go to boss mode.
Yeah.
What is boss mode? A person that is building long-term sustainable businesses. You cannot build
Scalable.
long-term scalable businesses by having to force cram and force feed ads in order for your business to survive. It won't work that way. It's too annoying. It's too stressful. I don't want to rely on Zuck's algos and on Zuck's tracking in order for me to make money.
Yeah.
Why? Because as soon as Apple comes around and says, your tracking, we're canceling that shit. Now Facebook goes to shit, right? So you can't be dependent on one single avenue. It's not going to work. So people need to start shifting their mindset. Once you have your first 100K, dude, your mindset should shift from hustle to boss.
100%, I agree. You know, there's a good quote. It says, they say, Mark Zuckerberg wasn't flipping Airbnbs when he was building Facebook. He was focusing his time on building Facebook. He didn't have any of these side hustles. And some of these side hustles, it's good in the beginning when you want to learn what you want to do many things.
And he's in a scenario where instead of him making money, which I'd already done, he comes from a family that was decent. He raised money.
Yeah.
Right. Your goal is to not have to worry about money. Whatever way you achieve that, whether your parents give you the money, whether you make your own money like we did, whether you fundraise, whatever it is, right? You need to be able to not worry about money so that you can focus on building.